Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Covers. Thank you everybody for joining as you're watching this broadcast, and if you find this of worth and value, how can you not? Please do share this out. Let us know where you're watching from and what your name is. So who am I? My name is Daniela Bleckner. I'm an author, book journey mentor and founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out there. On the bookshelf behind me are some of the 350 plus books that we've published over the last 9 years now. I'm absolutely passionate about providing a platform for unseen, unheard authors so they can have their voices heard and stories shared. So what is this show about and why is it called Between the Covers? It's called Between the Covers because it's all about getting up close and personal with the authors and finding out what goes on between the covers of publishing and writing a book. So I have a fantastic guest today, but let me ask you a question. Did anyone ever ask you what you wanted to be when you were growing up? And if so, what was your answer? Did you struggle to answer that question? So the person I'm bringing into the broadcast today is Josh Shelton. I have been working now with Josh since 2018 when we published his first book, Hey Tree, What Should I Be? He's a soulful storyteller and he is the co-founder with Sam Palenza, I think, of I Am Adventure series, a beautifully written and illustrated collection of children's books designed to spark imagination, nurture mindfulness, and encourage young readers to embrace who they are. From the gentle guidance of his book, Just Be, to the playful wonder of Imagine a World, and a powerful self-discovery in Hey Tree, What Should I Be? Josh's books speak straight to the heart of children and adults alike. For me, I believe his stories are more than just bedtime reads. They're conscious journeys that help children and adults to slow down, dream big, and navigate the fast-paced world with intention and curiosity. Josh, let's bring you in.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's happening? Good to be here.
Hey. First time on the show. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Your book is nearly out.
Yes, it is. I'm feeling great. This is awesome because we've tried this a couple times a few years back, and it was probably me and my technical capabilities that didn't quite work. So it's awesome to be here now. Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, it's exciting. This Saturday, number 3 is coming out. Just all that goes into it. So yeah, it's kind of surreal almost. It's really exciting.
It's exciting. I mean, you started this journey in 2018, didn't you? With Hey Tree, What Should I Be? I think it was.
Yeah, I guess I did. I mean, that's when it kind of honed in on it, but the journey's probably been ongoing for a lot longer than I realized. But yeah, 2017, 18. It was just kind of an idea whose time had come. I mean, literally 2016, there wasn't a thought. I mean, I've always written tons of writing stories, just kind of helped me navigate some things. And yeah, Sam Palenza, you did get his name right. He, a very dear friend of mine, lifelong friend, just kind of re-entered my life at the right time. And I just randomly kind of mentioned the idea, and man, like a wildfire, it just started flowing through me. And yeah, it started with, Hey Tree, What Should I Be? Which was kind of like the foundational piece. Yeah, it was, kind of a,
Josh, do you mind? Can I just stop you for a second? Do you have another device on because the mic is a little bit crackly? Just as you were talking about technical.
Let me see.
If you're watching, just let us know if it's crackly on your side.
Is it still crackly?
A bit, yeah. It's just a bit of feedback. I'm not sure.
Let's see here. I could try doing it on my phone if it's bad. Let's see. No, I don't have any other devices that I know of. Is it? You want me to try to get on my phone real fast?
Oh, there we go. No, you could do, but we can carry on. Maybe if you can multitask, that would be great.
If I could what? Multitask?
Maybe actually, Josh, maybe if you could try your phone, that would be great. Just because what you're saying is really valuable, and I just don't want it to be missed.
No, that's a bummer. Yeah, no, not at all. I can try to multitask. Do you want me to just pause and try to get on my phone real quick?
What I'm going to do. I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to share a little bit of your book, if that's all right, while you do.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to share a bit of Josh's book. As you can see, it's called Just Be. Absolutely beautiful. He works alongside Sam Palenza, who is the illustrator of all three, soon to be 4 books. There's a 4th book coming. And you can see that his illustrations are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite, the hamster wheel. What I love about this book is that, I mean, I remember being asked as a child what I wanted to be. I feel like I'm sinking. And my answer is always the same from a young age. I'm going to be an author. And then it was a vet as I got older and, you know, other things. But when I was very young, it was always just author, author, author. But I do think there is a little bit of pressure behind that question. You know, what do you want to be when you're older? And no one ever talks about the importance of just being. And something Josh talks about is the fact that we're human beings, not human doings. So just the sense of teaching children from a very young age the importance of being okay with just being and being happy with it. So I think we've got Josh back. Hey, Josh.
Hey, is that better?
Oh, that's much better. That's perfect. Yes.
Wow, that's a miracle. I was able to pull that off. For those that do know me,
you did it.
Yeah, like technology is not my forte, so I'm kind of proud of myself right
now. You did a great job. All right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I guess go ahead.
I was gonna say you can come a little bit closer there if you want. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, I'll leave you alone now. Go on.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, I think 2018. Hey Tree, what should I be? And then just kind of it was all very very quick, and really I think the whole these lessons or these concepts in life like didn't hit me until I was much older, and they're foundational for me. So I guess I was just driven to make a positive difference, and it was just I don't know, just all of a sudden here I am. It wasn't a methodical plan. I was one foot in front of the other, and it's really just kind of about following your heart, which is what the core message of Hey Tree really is to follow your heart in the constant changing nature of life, which is never ending. That's the case. And then Imagine a World is a creative power of thought book, which was kind of a realization for me. My subconscious is creating my reality, and just really how powerful our thoughts are, and how much input they have on just the experience you have in life. And so then the one that we're here to talk about now, Just Be, was almost is a foundational component to being able to anchor those first 2 core messages, to be aware of your thoughts, to be able to follow your heart. You can't be running around like a rat on a wheel. So yeah, it's a fun
hamster on the wheel, like that picture.
Yeah, the hamster on the wheel. Yeah, that Just Be, the hamster on the wheel is kind of the within the book, it's the manifestation of the running thoughts. And then the bulldog in the book represents the heart, and it's it's an awesome fun journey about what it takes to just be.
So like you obviously like love the writing aspect, and what I love about it, I'm a fan of poetry myself. Did you always write, and did you always like write in verse?
Yeah, so I guess it started with music, when I was young, writing songs, playing music. Yeah, I've always written in verse, but not only verse, but mostly that. I guess it's just another flavor of just the artistic nature of it. And it always came so natural to me, because words so often fail, and they still do, to really get to the point of what you're trying to express. Words are highly limited. So, you try to charge them up and embed them with stuff beyond the words. So poetry and verse is a very natural thing for me. And the illustrations in these books specifically, that creative process is just fantastic. We work together, and he just does such an amazing job helping get deeper into the concepts of my words. So yeah, the co-creative process of this has been super fulfilling and awesome.
I love it. And I can see the tree in the background as well. Is that something that you take into schools and libraries?
Yeah, just lots of little side projects. Yeah, that's the tree, kind of a rendition of the tree from the book. Yeah, we take it to schools, and just when we're doing shows and whatnot, and we incorporate it. Like, kids will, if we do a reading or something, there's little leaves they can write their name and something, depending on what, something that they want to do for the planet, or something they do to just be, or something they love, anything they put on the tree. Like at the launch this weekend, we're going to do a big giveaway. Sam's going to have some paintings. We'll have one of the kids pull a leaf off the tree. So it's just a really fun, I guess you call it a prop, but for me, I was just like, it was just an idea. Like I want to make that tree. So like one thing leads to another, and that's just kind of what happens.
I absolutely love that. And you're launching on, in case you didn't realize, Josh isn't based in the UK. Josh is in California, but we want him to come to the UK. So tell us what's happening on the 31st of March.
Yeah, so on March 31st, Just Be is launching locally, if you're here locally, at the Commons, an awesome social emporium place. Lots of stuff for kids to do there, and adults, owned by local friends of mine, actually from back in the day as well. And yeah, we'll be launching all our books. We should have a great turnout. We're going to have some canvases there that Sam's created, some kind of outlines of trees, and kids can just, create away. There's, going to be some good giveaways, but just unity and celebrating. I'm actually excited for multiple reasons. I'm going to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. There's been lots of there's lots of ripple effects and that come from when you do something like this, that it just brings people together. And my ultimate hope is to just get these messages in as many hands as possible. Just that, I wish I could just, I likely might at some point just start handing them out, because that's what the goal is for me. And I know that's what they're here for. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time. It's supposed to be, of course, it's the first day here. If you don't know, Northern California is capable of getting somewhat warm. So it's the first day, of course, it's going to get toasty. So we're going to have misters and, maybe some bubble guns and some water guns or something. We'll make sure it's fun.
I need to be over there. This sounds fun.
A direct flight. Come on over. I got your ticket. Yeah.
So both of your books, actually, Hey Chi, What Should I Be, as well as Just Be, focus on, the importance of mindfulness and just being. Why do you think this is a really important message to share with young people, especially, as well as adults, but young people specifically?
Yeah, it's both. I think, it's a fundamental component to our experience here. Naturally, it helps you, just everything, health, wellness. It helps you be able to live a fulfilling, content, happy life, and or just just to deal with the day things. Society we've created is, you could say a little bit bonkers. That it's just foundational. And for me, I was probably 10, 11, 12 years ago that I just like, man, like I need, I discovered meditation, incorporate that into my life, and it just helps you kind of sort through, and you realize, man, like your thoughts can really take you places, and it's not that there's, within Just Be, it's not that you got to like go climb a mountain and sit there and hum for 2 hours. It's not that, that's great, but no, there's just simple things you can do that can have a profound difference in your life, and a lot of them are fun and active. And I just think it's an important message, and fundamental. We're human beings, we're not human doings. That's kind of the core of what and who we are. So yeah, Just Be comes in at number 3, and it's like you said, the first book is similar. It is about just being, but that book is more. It's a follow your heart book, like what do you want to be when you grow up? Not to get too much into that book right now, but that is, like you say, a pretty profound question that kids get hit with right away. And it's like you got to lock something in or this and that. And it's just my life alone. I have been and will continue to be many different things. It's the core message there is to follow your heart, but to be able to do that and hear that inner voice, you have to silence the running ticker of thoughts that goes on in your head. So that's where Just Be kind of comes in, and it's very super playful though. You wouldn't know it, like Just Be, like, oh, that sounds like kind of a chill book, but there's a lot going on in there.
Well, if you would share some of the book, I think that'd be a good idea.
I could definitely do that. It's hard to just pick some of it out. I would just probably go to some of the the art is phenomenal.
The art is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. So like
Lenza.
Yeah, too bad we should have been. Well, next time we'll have to get him on here too.
Definitely.
So it takes you on a journey of you have your main little adventurer guy, and he's got his sidekick DeeDee the hamster and Bula the bulldog, who both are, you know, personal real life animals that, you know, my son had a hamster he named DeeDee years ago, and he'd just sit there and he's just like, how does he run like on his wheel this whole time? So he's actually represented here. So I guess I can maybe just read and share a couple of
Yeah.
you know, when we get into the like what can I do during my days to keep big yucky thoughts not visit my way? Can stroll into nature for a minute or two, perhaps barefoot. Yes, I'll kick off my shoes. Can you see it? I can
Yeah.
lay on my back for a minute or three and find shapes in the clouds as they float above me. Yeah, this, like, even doing this work, like the inner child in me gets activated. I can just remember reading books similar to this where it's just like you're looking for all the little hidden creatures and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, there's so much. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
This, you can get totally lost in these books. Just the illustrations alone are just phenomenal.
Well, that's pretty much what happened. I got lost in them and like found more of myself along the way, you know. I can lean on a tree for a minute or four. If a friend comes to visit, I'll stay a few minutes more. I can sit by a fire for an hour or five and ponder the miracle of being alive.
Wow.
Within stillness, I find a land beyond time where all is at peace in my soul. And as I gaze toward the moon, the stars up above, the miracle fills my heart full. So it's hard for me to just share a part of the book because it's you know it's a journey. You pretty much need to, you know, get a copy and take it. Get the book, yeah.
You can get copies if you're based in the UK from the beautiful Conscious Dreams Bookshop. I'll put the link in. If you're in the US, Josh and Sam have their own site, which is I Am Adventure Books. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm Adventure Books. Yeah, that's right. .com.
Okay, we put it out there. Faye says beautiful. Thanks, Faye.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm Adventure Books, isn't it?
Yeah, I am adventurebooks.com. And of course it's, you know, it's in all the other spots. You can find it Barnes and Nobles online. And
yeah, but you want to get them, you want to get a sign from the author. Come on.
Yeah, if you order them from there, you'll definitely get the signature and have that.
I wanted to talk to you about the characters of the book. So, but you mentioned that DeeDee, the hamster, is actually based on a real hamster.
Yeah, he's based on a real hamster.
Bula, the bullfrog, wonderful characters. What do they represent? And obviously, you've answered, you know, how you inspired to come up with the character of DeeDee. But talk to us about Bula.
Yeah, Bula. So, since I was a youngster, my family, my dad and that side of family has always had bulldogs. And if anyone has had any experience with bulldogs, you know, like I think I nicknamed kind of a house pig, like they just chill. I think they might sleep 80 or 90% of their life. And, you know, so they're just always a part of my life. And when I was thinking about incorporating, you know, living things that are a reflection of the messages, the racing mind and the calm centered heart, they just kind of, you know, came into being. So yeah, throughout the book, you know, the bulldog is just like, you know, side-eyeing this hamster as he's just doing his hamster things, and they kind of find their way. They start learning from each other, and, you know, and they end up kind of finding balance. So, you know, you could look at the book many ways, where it's a story that's happening, but they're also representations of the young man in here's being, his mind and his heart. So it's kind of an outward representation of the dynamic that we have, you know, balancing those two things.
And I was going to say the importance of balance. You know, I was probably that kid that was like, oh, and, you know, as you know me, Josh, I mean, you know, I'm always doing something. I've got a project going, finish one project, there's not something else going. But, you know, to have that balance of, you know, knowing when to chill, knowing when to actually just be and be still, because sometimes that's when the most creative ideas come in, that stillness. But then, you know, having that spark and that passion and that energy is also, you know, really, really needed to actually see projects through to fruition and actually like thrive in life as well. So I like that you said that it's about that balance too. And I think that's a really important message for children.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, you can have balance while you're doing too. It's not like, okay, I'm going to have balance now while I'm like calm. It's something you carry with you that helps you, you know, not become a mess.
100%. Do you feel like this question, like what do you want to be and what do you want to do, is something that's quite difficult for adults as well to answer?
Well, yeah, it's very much so. These books, because when you grow up, you don't read, these are basically adult books disguised as children books in every way, shape, and form. I've had that is one thing that I've heard numerous times regarding from the first two books, is that, yeah, I was reading this to my youngster and like, man, they're enjoying the pictures and I'm like downloading this message because it was as much for me, if not more. Yeah, it's super important. I mean, you could make the case, well, maybe not so much in the world today with all the instant gratification, the technology we're faced with, the kids are faced with a lot more challenges than we were. And it was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough when I grew up. So I think that was some of the, watching my kids grow up and parent them. It was just like, man, they have a lot that's hitting them. And yeah, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Yeah, you want to be happy, and you're gonna do a lot of things along the way. But to me, you can make the loose, statement that when I grow up, I want to be happy. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of ingredients to arriving at that reality. And it's also important. I mean, I like literally, I didn't think I would be an author in 2016. I wouldn't even have a thought of it. And then it just bang, it's time to do this. Like, and then acting, following your heart, and all those things, they just stay in ideas mode, or they stay in something you could do if you don't have balance, if you're not present, if you don't, and then the imagination, the creative power of thought, like I could be an author. I want to do this. So that's a thought. Then that you have to take the actions to do it. And it can easily become super overwhelming. So anyone out there that has that thought, like, yeah, it's normal to be overwhelmed. Like you have an idea, but yeah, how do you do that? How do you do this? How do you, how do I get a publisher? All of those things. You just go forward, just follow your heart and go and just see what comes of it. And, you put that creative power of thought into action, and things just start bring it into your experience. It literally works that way.
Things start to fall into place, don't they? Like you start meeting the right people, coming across the right opportunities when you put that intention and thought out there. We've got a question here from Faye. She's saying it's okay to change careers. We grow and learn and sometimes outgrow them, but ultimately being happy is the greatest.
Yeah, 100%. Of course it's okay to change careers. Like, so many people get comfortable in the box they know because it's known, it's fear really that ultimately keeps you from doing something like change. So yeah, it's more than okay. And you can have a couple of careers. I still build custom houses, an hour before I was here, I came in, ripped off some construction clothes, and like, my shirt, I'm gonna get my author face on. So yeah, it's okay to do anything that you feel driven to do.
100%.
And if you don't pursue it, if you don't seek it, it's gonna, at least for me, it'd be like, I'm not about what ifs. I don't want what ifs. I don't want unfinished. If I feel driven to do something, I may not know how or who, but I'm gonna move into it.
It just gets done. That's such an important thing. So Lee's saying impressive, awesome. Hi Lee. Yeah. So I mean that's such an important thing. I think back in my day when I went to school, you'd have teachers in the same job for like 30 years. That was their job. It was like, what are you going to be? I'm going to be a teacher, and that's it. Same place. Lived in the same place. And I think things are changing in the world now. And I say to young people all the time, you can be more than one thing in your lifetime. You can be many things. You can even be many things at the same time. You got to find what lights you up inside, your gifts and talents, and find a way to use them. If you're watching, if you just joined, I am speaking to the awesome and amazing Josh Shelton, author of 3 books. We're talking about his latest book, Just Be, which is coming out on the 31st of May. It's launching on the 31st of May, all the way from California. He has a children's book bundle. There's going to be a 4th book added to this. I just love this graphic. 3 books at the moment. Hey Tree, What Should I Be is the first one. Imagine a World, all about taking care of the planet. And the book that's coming out on the 31st is Just Be. You can get this book bundle from our bookshop, Conscious Dreams Bookshop. You can also get it from There you go.
IamAdventureBooks.com.
Josh's
There it is.
the rushing my writing there. Website is the word IamAdventureBooks.com, especially if you're based in the US. So in terms of like your personal experiences, would you say your parenting has shaped your writing or your ideas or your character development in any way?
Oh, that's a great question. I'd say, yeah, as much as my parenting, it's observing my children and children in general grow up, the social components, the emotional components, and just the world they live in. Yeah, it definitely, it shaped it, but so much of it just, I'll have like a seed of an idea, and then sometimes it'll be 2 in the morning and it'll come out in like 20 minutes and like, oh, that just happened. Like, wow, there it was. But there's a lot of work leading up to that point, like that I don't even know, subconscious like thoughts and shaping, and then it'll just come out. But yeah, I think it's a conglomeration of concepts and intent and messages and my own personal experience as well. Like I said, there's core messages, there's like individual core messages of each of the 3 books, and then there's a lot more around that. And it's funny, the last one you mentioned, I Am the Drop in the Ocean, is by far my favorite and one of the first ones that came through me in crazy quick fashion. And then I almost had to work backwards. It's kind of like a tiered, like almost like unplanned, planned, rollout of concepts and teachings. And so it's kind of interesting how, it started with book 4 and then went back, and it hasn't. The only hard part with any of this is just figuring out all this social and tech.
I know.
It's not my jam.
Well, you're getting there because look, you're online. You've managed to join the interview. I've seen some of your posts going out. I'm actually trying to find the video you did, see if I can actually play it, because I've just figured out how to play things on.
Yeah, that's fun.
While I'm on,
and you also have to I definitely, part of that is being like, okay, I know what I'm good at. I know what I need to learn. And it's like, and literally put out the intent, like I need to use some help in some certain fashions of this. So we have a wonderful person that Sam knew. I'll drop her name now. Her name is Celeste. Thank you, Celeste, for all the help on just like saying, hey, like we take this whole get it out in the online world thing and help, please. And so that's been awesome. It's been good.
Shout out to Celeste, you said?
Yes.
Hey, brilliant. And that's the thing, why I love doing what I do, because I love writing. It wasn't until I published my first book in 2014 when I realized, oh my gosh, there's so much to it. I've got to have a social media presence. I've got to market. I've got to try and get press. I've got to try and do this. And that already, like, so it's just helping as much as possible in terms of on that side of it, But again, if you're watching, a lot of our authors in the community share each other's work, support each other. It'd be great if you're over here, Josh. When you come over here, it'd be lovely to do an event.
I'll come over.
Come over.
I definitely will.
It's so important, I think, just to support each other with our books, because it's tough. It is tough being an independent author, but so worth it. Yeah. Can you share with us we've got something here. Someone's saying, I did that for 24 years in the same place. Oh, wow. Fear certainly was at the heart of that. Now I've moved forward in the happier place.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Fear, it's basically boils down to that. We all have a plethora of emotions, but if you were to like shrink them all back, you have like fear, and you could say love, fear and love. And if fear is the massive limiter of all good things, 100%. And so I mean, now as I sit here talking about that, like even that's another concept within all these books is, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, I'm sure there's an element of fear that gets struck in a kid. Like, okay, so yeah, it's in these. It's those seedlings of fear-based thought forms they're everywhere. They're inundated. They're in your kids' faces when they're in their phones. They're in the movies they watch. It's all over. So it's really easy and quite common to, just live life and not even be aware that the limitations fear is placed on you. So, and it takes a level of courage, but then you really realize there's there's so many sayings out, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. What are you afraid? You're really maybe afraid of your own potential, It's not your, and so I'd say the heck with that. Like, just go get it.
if you don't do, you'll never find out. You'll never find
Yeah.
out if it flops or it doesn't. Like, I don't think there's anything worse than just not knowing what could have been, you know?
Yeah.
So 100% go for it. Can you tell us a little bit about your fourth book, although it's not out yet? I don't know if you've actually started writing it. Hello, Janet. She's saying hello. I don't know if you've started writing it, or if you can share a little bit about it.
Yeah, I can. I wrote it. Like I said, that was written in 2018 or 19. So it's written. I am the drop in the ocean, and it is. I don't know how I can kind of paraphrase it quickly, but it transcends all religions, walks of life, thoughts, and it's a dreamtime journey. The same little characters are in it. Will be in it. We haven't begun. We have loosely begun to kind of chart out the creative process, which is my favorite part. Yeah, so he's a dreamtime journey. He goes on a dreamtime journey of becoming a drop, and the cycle goes on its way back to the ocean. Through all the pathways it would go. So it's too much. My brain's hitting traffic jams trying to encapsulate it into one, but it is my favorite. And the art for that, we've already discussed, and just we have these creative blasts. So there's a lot of foundation there for it. And on that note, that is one of the most fulfilling parts of this. The transcripts come very quickly through me, and it starts out with almost like a grid, like a comic, just concepts, and then Sham and I share a brain. Yeah, he's the most phenomenal artist I know.
Yeah.
And when it comes to how this is depicted, it is in every way him and I sharing a brain, and we have illustrated each one of these books 2 or 3 times probably, because we'll just amazing idea. And that would mean we have to redo those 7, but it has to be in there. And so it's just it's how it is. And then he'll be like, I got an idea, and then I'll feel it before he spits it out, or vice versa. And then we'll just like, yeah. It is. Yeah, it is one of the most.
We definitely need you both on for the next
for sure
interview. Definitely. I'm just trying to see if I can pull up a picture of Sam. But what I did do is I pulled up a picture of your I'm learning new things here, Josh, of your website.
You go.
So here we go.
There you go.
Books.com. Just as you were talking about I'm a drop in the ocean, I was just showing your book here, ready to go.
Yeah, and that cover is probably going to change a little bit. He drew that cover 4 years ago, and so we've had And I'm like, it's a 4-book series. I don't even, if I were to get into my things, I don't even know how many there could be, but it's overwhelming. So these 4 kind of almost are a little microcosm for me of like, my own little awakening, ascension process. And so as I was looking at them all, they were the ones. Who knows where it goes? Maybe there'll be more, but focusing on finishing that 4th one. But we're gonna give these 3 their due, and just nurturing them and getting them out there. Like kind of like you can tell from talking to me, that just getting them out there. We didn't lean into it too hard, and we got them in a lot of hands, and we had some great success in the school. Then the world went bonkers with the whole, the whole thing. And so, but you could say we got sidetracked because it's been 3 or 4 years, but we engaged and we talked about it, but it's time is now, and it came now, and certain things had to get processed, and certain things had to unfold, and certain things had to be reawoken, and here we are. So it's exciting. We're definitely get started on the 4th soon. It already has been started. As soon as we get done honoring the process of sharing these 3 out there, mindfully, and just trying to give them as many young and not as young hands as possible.
So what is your kind of ultimate dream? How do you want these to impact young people and adults? And what are your plans then for this whole series, really?
My hope is that it finds the right hands at the right time. And whether it's a big or small realization in a youngster or an adult, I don't need to know the ripples that they will have. I just know that they will have many ripples, and that's a super gratifying knowing. Just to make a difference, look at my kids and be like, hey, I didn't stay silent. I didn't, I acted, and even outside of the books, just the action of my own children being like, wait, dad's 45 now. Dad's 45. He just all of a sudden he's an author, right? Like
Yeah.
you can do, there's just so many, the just creating conscious change, like it says on our website, one children's book at a time. Just act.
I love that tagline. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's probably it in a nutshell. Is to create positive change, whatever that change looks like. That's going to be on an individual basis. But if it brings peace to a young mind, or if it opens up a door, or if it triggers someone's creative spark, any and all of those things are in infinite ripples that will come from it. I'm not going to put a limit on what I hope they do. I hope they make a positive difference.
Amazing. Josh, thank you so much. It's been amazing speaking with you again. Like I said, we started working together, I think it was 2018. It feels like yesterday. Published the first 2 books alongside yourself, I Am Adventure Books. Working on the third book just be coming out on the 31st. It's launching in California. All 3, they're so beautiful, aren't they? 4th book incoming.
Yeah.
And we'll pull you back for another interview then. But honestly, I absolutely love your passion. I love your creativity and the way you work with Sam as well, and your whole process, because a lot of people, they write the book and then they find an illustrator, at the last part, once they've written the book, is what I'm trying to say. And then they say, right, this is what I want. And then that's it. But I think there's something missing sometimes with that kind of actually both starting at that blank page with that co-creative process that you and Sam have. So I think that's something that's really special, and it's a really unique bond. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what is going to come from you next.
No, it's coming. Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, Sam and I we playing soccer when we could hardly walk. So it's almost like one person, one mind created these books. That's how it feels for sure. And before you hit stop or whatever, if anyone out there does have an idea or is been thinking about doing a book journey or has something, Danny is who you need to speak with. She's been phenomenal. And even how we found each other is proof that you put out an intent, because I had sent my transcripts to some other publishers like previously. And, you get the automated response back. We'll get back to you within 6 months, this, that, and the other. And just a quick story. We went to Tahoe, it was, and we with my kids, and we did this this pottery making thing in South Lake Tahoe here in California. And my daughter did this little cup, and she put a feather on the cup. And
I didn't know this.
Oh, I think I probably emailed you this. If you didn't, for sure I did, but it was a long time ago. And so it was one night we were working on the book, and I literally typed in again, publishers near me, something I had done. And there you popped up right away. And then there's your logo, which is not quite, but nearly a direct match to the feather. And by the way, she's not a publisher near me. I'm across the pond. She's not, I don't know how, so anyways, that popped up. And it worked right away. And I eventually did hear back from 2 publishers. We were very interested in your I'm like, yeah, too bad for you, man. Like I found where this was meant to be. So you've been a very integral part of the process. You and your whole team, we were super grateful. And anything that does come, the 4th one for sure in the future, it'll be coming through you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. I remember when you first did get in contact, you said that you found me through my website. And I remember at the time thinking, wow, because I think I'd set my website up. Maybe it was a few years before. I was still quite new, ish, a few years. And I remember thinking, wow, because most people are word of mouth or through social media. I think you were the first who'd said through the website. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. But yeah. That's incredible with the feather story as well. And then obviously I've got that white pigeon now. Is my mascot.
Totally. Yeah. And did you realize? Remember in my there's a white pigeon on the dedication page of Imagine a World. So there's
yeah, my gosh.
And that was in 2019. Yeah.
19. Wow, I totally forgot that. See how these things happen.
Yeah, that's the creative power of thought. And if you're not balanced and you're not like have at least a semblance of balance, your thoughts are creating whether or not they're said. So you must become mindful of what hangs out in your head. That's from the book too.
This is brilliant. And yeah. Conscious Dreams Publishing and you've got conscious conscious books. Creating conscious change on one children's book at a time.
Yeah, that's it.
See, these things, we cannot ignore them. This is why our thoughts and the words that we speak is so, so important. I've got Janet here. Janet actually has just signed up with us. So we're right at the beginning stages, going through her manuscripting at the first read through. She says, it's always great to hear someone's story, always an inspiration. Brilliant. Oh, Faye, another one of our authors, I gotcha, says 100% she is. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Josh, you've been amazing. One last thing. What would you say to somebody who has an amazing idea, be it a book or setting up a business or just a dream that they want to fulfill, and they just don't do anything about it because they think that nobody is interested, or why should they do it, or is it going to be successful? What would you say to them?
I would say stop thinking and just follow your heart and create the reality you want, and make sure that you have balance and just be throughout that process so that you actually bring it into fruition. Just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of fear. Just change your thoughts on fear. There's a very small difference between fear and excitement. It's a perception, like you could easily just say, okay, I'm afraid. No, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I'm not afraid. Because the unknown is where, no one ever did great things like when you're just sitting there comfy. You gotta get uncomfortable. Be comfortable getting uncomfortable.
I love that. Get comfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I love that kind of, it's just a little thing shifted in me there. That how fear is next to excitement, and fear is being excited, or not anxious but excited about the possibilities of something being. That's brilliant. Well, Winsome says such an inspiration. Winsome's also one of our authors as well. Please follow Josh Shelton. Check out Sam Palenza, who's on Instagram, I think, and do go over to I Am Adventure Books to find out what Josh is up to next. If you're in the UK, you can get any of the books from the Conscious Dreams bookshop. Of course, you can get the good old book bundle here. There you go. A discounted rate, signed copies, and you can also get them on Amazon and all of those lovely sites. But it's always fantastic and much better for the author when you buy directly. So please do join me next week, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST, where I'll be interviewing the awesome and amazing Alice Hatari, who is publishing a book with us. It's actually released today, Josh.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
The Adventures of Nandi, set in Uganda. A beautiful book. Unfortunately, I don't have it to hand, but you have to tune in next week to see it. So thank you, everybody, for watching. You've been amazing. Josh, you've been fantastic. We're going to hop over to Instagram for a little bit. Take care. Bye-bye. See you next